Hello and welcome to the Knights of Gab-A-Lot. I am Sir Benjamin.
And I am Sir Nick.
And we are here to gab your ears off over all things media. And this episode, we are talking about Fallout Season 2, Episode 7.
And off. So this is how the episode begins. Entertainingly, we get flashbacks revealing Stephanie escaping an internment camp in American-controlled Canada, and later encountering Hank while trying to work with Vault-Tec. In the Vault timeline, Betty gives Stephanie a box belonging to Hank, and during Stephanie and Chet's wedding, Chet accuses her of murdering Woody and reveals that she's secretly Canadian. Stephanie, please. Lucy pretends to support Hank with his little projects in Vault-Tec and plans to stop his mind-controlled chip system, and she accesses the Vault-Tec mainframe and discovers it is connected to the preserved head of this was funny. The representative Diane Welch, the woman who you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The not impressive politician. Then we get to Norm. Norm briefly regains consciousness and sends a radio message before him being captured by Vault-Tec executives. Maximus, the Ghoul, and Thaddius, they form an agreement to rescue Lucy in exchange for the cold fusion relic. Maximus fights Deathclaws in power armor while the Ghoul infiltrates the Lucky 38 casino. And in the very end, using the relic, the Ghoul activates the systems that bring Robert House back online. That's pretty much the episode.
I loved all the my brain was like, there was something else. Like, oh right, there was the whole thing in the present day, which we'll talk a bit about. Sorry, the past. We'll talk a bit about that later.
In the car?
Yeah. Oh, there's so much there. There's so much. I really dug this episode.
It was a really good episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really, really good episode. It was, at first I was wondering if it would be a filler episode.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when you have, one of the early scenes, Hank is teaching Lucy how to drive a golf cart.
I love that scene.
Like, oh, I wish that and it was a very funny scene, like no knock on the scene whatsoever. It was very funny. But usually scenes like that end up in filler episodes. So I thought, oh, okay,
yes.
This is a filler episode. Kind of weird for it ended up not being that case. But teaching her to drive the golf cart was really funny. But that opening scene with Stephanie and her friend or her girlfriend or her whoever that was escaping the internment camp, that was really interesting. You know, like she and her friend are running through the woods, and then Brotherhood of Steel, or not, I guess it's not Brotherhood of Steel, excuse me. A soldier in power armor says, "Stop right there, hosers." I thought that was really funny. And then he gets blown up by suicide Canadian bomber, I guess, because that's what Canadians do. Steph's friend dies, and a bunch of like a montage scenes of Steph. You know, her friend dies, and she's kind of moving along, sneaking up on people and killing them. And her friend's like, you know, it's okay if you kill. God will forgive you, which I thought was a really weird line, given I don't understand what their background is, because that sounds like cult language.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not really something I expect to hear from a Canadian, because Canadians are extremely secularized. So I don't know. Maybe things change in the future. But anyway, like she's killing people and everything like that. And then she has this line that I think is really funny, but it also, I think, mirrors way too much sentiment in the present day. You know, so while she's killing
our present day, you mean? In the real
our
world?
present day, yeah. Which I thought was entertaining in the show, but it took me out of the show. I will admit.
Mm-hmm.
But she says, don't think of them as humans. Think of them as Americans."
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
all right.
I had a similar reaction. It did take me out. I did have the thought of, like, my first thought was, we're doing the whole anti-American, mirroring the anti-American sentiment that we're having in our present day, and then my second thought was, is that just supposed to be like, that joke where you dehumanize your enemy kind of thing? Is that the joke here? I don't know.
Yeah, it could be. And here's the thing that I found weird about it though. It's clearly at least a partial parody. And I don't know what direction the parody is coming from, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Is it making a parody of Canadian over aggression over things that are happening in the present day?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it Americans who hate themselves, which is very true. A lot of Americans hate Americans, and this is their way of getting it out of their system. I don't know which way the parody is coming from, to be honest with you. I thought it was funny though, just isolated,
Mm-hmm.
but it took me out of the moment, bringing in too many present day issues. Either that, or it was a funny line that they came up with, and then it ended up lining up with what we have now. Who knows?
Yeah.
It was entertaining though. I think the whole side not side plot, but plot twist, excuse me, with Steph being a Canadian is really funny.
When it was revealed that she was an escapee from an internment camp and everything, I did have a moment. This, like, I don't know if you call it a nitpick or whatnot, when the fact that she still has her Canadian ID, you would think that she would try to get rid of that because she, makes it across the border and then is hiding out in Vegas. You'd think she would maybe get rid of that just for so she doesn't get found out, but that would be my logic. I don't know.
It could be that. I mean, that would make logical sense.
Mm-hmm.
But people, as you know, are also very sentimental about
True.
things. And if
True.
that's the one object she has to link her back to her Canadian past,
Mm-hmm.
I could see that.
Yeah. It's yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like we make items into relics all the time.
True.
You know, I still have don't tell anybody, okay? But I still have my teddy bear that I was given when I was a child. Now I
Yeah. Yeah.
have it in
Don't.
a
Yeah.
box
Yeah. Don't.
somewhere.
Yeah. Don't tell anybody and
I
announce it
won't
on
tell
the
anyone.
podcast. And announce it on
I
the
have
podcast.
exactly right. Uh, have it in a box somewhere, but it's a relic.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know if that's a false comparison or a bad comparison, but that's
I won't tell anyone. I'll just post it on the internet.
asking for a friend.
I really did. I did dig, because I was sometimes wondering to myself, like, especially when it was revealed that Steph was a part of the an internment camp. I thought, okay, how does she get involved with Vault-Tec? So I thought it was neat that you then have, you cut to, you got Cooper trying to get rid of the unconscious body of Hank from the previous episode, and then it's revealed that the person who's the room service is Stephanie, and she's wanting to find out, like, hey, how could I get involved with Vault-Tec? And she's like, ask him, referring to Hank, which a nice, very simple, very short way of explaining her how she, basically her connection to Vault-Tec and connection to Hank, which I thought
It was
was
really efficient.
really efficient. I was very impressed that it was just done that way. It was, and it's bit of the visual storytelling of, like, oh, and you know who Hank is, that it's not, everything is not spelled out. And I don't want to just draw comparisons to Alien Earth and some of the writing there where everything is just spelled out, with shows nowadays being written for people who are on their phones while they're watching.
Secondary viewing,
Yeah,
exactly.
secondary viewing. This is designed the way shows should be, using both visual and auditory mediums to tell a story, and I think it was done very well.
Yeah. Just on that note with secondary viewing, who was it I was talking to about it? I can't remember which friend I was talking to someone about it, but just looking at me like that was the craziest thing ever. Why on earth would you create media for people who aren't paying 100% attention?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we need to have um, this might get us in trouble. I don't know if we. So I guess before we had the over explaining the script writing for secondary viewing, we had those moments where you have a group of friends and they're watching a movie and the one person's not paying attention and then they look up and they go, "What's happening?" And then we have to pause the movie and everyone has to talk to that person like an idiot, but in a good natured way, and explain to them what they missed because they were too busy staring at their phone. And this is necessary. You have to have a little bit of ribbing, okay, but not too much because they're still a friend. But you need to have this moment. And you will eliminate this moment if you frickin' write in this way. That's how I feel about it.
I could go on it as well.
I know.
I feel similar. That's a whole episode. We could just spend the whole episode ranting. No one would be interested in it.
Well, it was nice because we had a couple of the friends over for that usually do D&D with us, right?
Hmm.
And we didn't end up doing D&D, unfortunately, but we threw in Aliens, and we just sat there and watched it, and it was great. It was refreshing. Everyone was just enjoying watching the movie. You know, we were glancing at our phone every once in a while, but there was no secondary viewing. It was just refreshing. That's all I'm trying to say.
That is
Anyway,
refreshing.
I'll stop romanticizing the past.
On the
Um,
I was just thinking, remembering a bit of notes from. So you remember how I mentioned last episode that there was a glitch when I was viewing the last episode, and I missed some chunks, including the scene with the super mutant and all
oh
that. Yeah.
yes,
So I went back and watched those scenes, which kind of also carries into reinforces some of the things I've been theorizing, like there being like the Enclave being involved. Like, of course,
okay,
the super mutant name dropped the Enclave, and then
yep, yep,
we have that scene where Cooper's wife's name is Barbara, right?
yep. Barb.
Right. I keep on confusing her with Betty for some reason. To be names. Anyway, here where it's revealing that she's being set up by the Enclave and being forced to. Well, it's hinted like they never say, but I assume it's the Enclave because we see the scientist from the first season who was a part of the Enclave and whatnot, passing information to her. And I just have notes about just some of the things that are going on, like when after Cooper, in this episode, he goes and meets with the senator. I forgot her name. The one,
Diane.
yeah, Senator Diane, and talking a bit about like what's going on and everything. And he's got the cold fusion, and she's like, well, we could, you could pass the president will be landing at Camp McCarran. You can pass it on to him. And as soon as that part happened, I was like, that's how the Enclave get their hands on the cold fusion that we see in season one. That's how that works. And which also put the light on of like, oh, so that's why she doesn't have any corporate backing for her platform, because she's probably a part of the Enclave and they are trying to keep power away from the corporations. Oh boy. It's just all the connections and everything. I'm as these connections are being revealed, I'm really liking, well, the connections that they have. I mean, even with
Yeah,
this character, I thought she was just going to be that throwaway character like when we first saw.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, and I've
It's
yeah, I thought she was just going to be like, yeah, throwaway character, a semi commentary on corporate influence in politics and everything, and that was it. But then when they start bringing her in here and whatnot, it's like, oh, there's so much more happening. I like it. I like it.
this is a fun show. It's not the most plot twisty
Hmm.
show of all time, but it's a lot of fun to watch the connections being made.
Yeah.
And I mean, it shouldn't even be a thing worth bringing up, except for the fact that somehow that's been lost in movie making. So it's nice to see it. I have no further point on that, though. Thaddius has a weird skin condition. We
His ghoulification, you
The
mean?
ghoulification. We jump to Thaddius and Maximus, who are with the ghoul,
Hmm.
and they find an NCR armory, and they're loading up. The idea is that they're going to go get suited up or kitted up, as the ghoul said, to go take care of the Deathclaws. And Thaddeus says, "Hey, this is weird. Look at this." And and then he's got a little weird. It's like a mouth,
Yeah,
a little like.
on his shoulder. Yeah,
And even the ghoul was weirded out by that.
it makes me
I
think.
cannot tell you though. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. It was a side thing. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, right after the scene too, when the ghoul goes over to something that's being like it's veiled in like a big blanket or whatever, pulls it down. I can't tell you how much joy I felt to see a power suit with the NCR Ranger helmet on.
It was pretty sick.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I'm quite sure one of those is available in New Vegas.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I haven't gotten that far.
Okay. It was a while ago. I don't remember, but I just remember. It just made me so happy. I love the Ranger helmet so much.
It looks so cool. It really does.
It's a great little design.
That's one thing I'll say about like the just armor in general in the Fallout franchise, especially the more power armors and stuff, have just such great designs. They're
Really
just
good.
fantastic, fantastic designs.
Yeah. Again, just the fact that it's practical just gets me all warm and fuzzy inside. Then the next scene, if we're done with this scene,
Yeah, I didn't have any thoughts for this one.
the next scene I have is where Chet and Steph are in their little Vault-Tec home, and she's stressing about something, and Chet is doing the dishes like a good simp boy. Um, and well, the drain is plugged up, so he sticks his hand into it. It's got a carburetor, obviously, and I'm like, oh, don't stick your hand in there. Anytime anyone sticks their hand in a carburetor, it just makes me uneasy. But he finds Woody's glasses, which means Steph may have chopped him up into tiny pieces and put his body in the carburetor.
That's going to get tricky when it comes to the skull.
Either that or it's just the glasses, but I can't imagine she would just throw the glasses in if not everything else, right? It would make sense to dump the glasses with the rest of where it got put.
Yeah, we won't think too hard about it.
It's funny anyway.
Oh, it
And
is
then
very funny, very funny.
Chet looks at it and he asks, "Have you seen Woody?" And then she just gives him a non-answer. And then
Everyone seems to be asking that lately. And I've told you, just like I've told everyone else, he's on a something exchange program with one of the other
right,
vaults.
yeah. And he breaks the glasses and put it into the carburetor. I'm like, bro, you just got rid of evidence. That won't come back to bite him. But it was a funny little scene.
Yeah.
I could just see his two brain cells rubbing together like so hard. There's just a little bit of white smoke happening. Yeah, and the nice thing is just to broadcast without spoiling that thing that we were talking about, but where I was hoping that Chet would have his moment.
Mm-hmm.
He gets his moment.
Yep.
In the most Chet way possible.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Before
Which
we
is,
get,
I think,
that's a
yeah,
couple
for my
scenes
notes,
like,
that's still a couple. That's
yeah,
a
a couple
couple scenes
scenes.
down for me.
Yeah. One of the next later scenes, I think just after this, when because Step had made a deal with Betty from the other vault that was having issues with their water chip, that if Betty
Mm-hmm.
brings this case that Hank has had hidden in his office, if
Oh,
she
yeah.
brings it to her, she will give them some water. And,
Yep.
they hand off and everything, and the handoff is very tense and whatnot. And just the way Steph is acting, I'm just like, okay, so from what we've seen before, when her friend, lover, whatever had said about, don't think of them as human, think of them as Americans, I kind of had this thought of like, is there something in this box that she's going to use to like kill Americans en masse in the vault?
Possibly, probably.
Like, as the episode went on, yeah, I'll just go into it. I was like, shoot, I think I wonder, maybe especially with the showing up again of the Enclave and everything, I thought, oh shoot, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I expect there's to be like maybe there's some FEV, forced evolutionary virus, like a vial of that in the box.
Whoa.
And this is my theory is that either the next episode or likely in the beginning of season 3, she puts it in the water that she sends over to the other vault. And
That seems likely.
right, which if I'm right on that, I also predict that the couple who's a part of the incest support
Yep.
group, that the couple that we don't know if they're brother and sister, we don't know if they're cousin, whatever, I predict they become a centaur. I know that's really quite dark, really fast. I doubt that the show would do it, but if there's a centaur, it's them.
That would mean that all centaurs are created through forced evolution.
Right, which I actually don't know a lot of the lore on them.
I don't either. And I guess that would just depend on how widespread the like the forced evolutionary vials or whatever. Yeah, I hadn't considered that the force the well, I guess we'll find out. We'll find
Yep.
out.
Yep.
I'm not going to sit here and waffle like an idiot. Just, I hadn't thought about that before. It's actually a good thought. The next scene that I have here is the Ghoul, Maximus, and Thaddius doing their cool march down Freeside to go take care of the I keep wanting to call them Deathstalkers.
Deathclaws.
Deathclaws. Why do I want to call them Deathstalkers?
Because there was
Anyway, Deathclaw.
because there was a Swords and Sandals or Swords and Sorcery movie back in the day in the 80s, I think it was. No, you wouldn't have known about that.
What's it called?
Deathstalker.
Okay.
It was one of those Roger Corman. I think it was a Roger Corman one. Doesn't matter. Anyway, moving
Doesn't
on.
matter. Okay.
Moving on.
Far enough. Far enough. Everyone's looking at them because they look awesome. That suit, that power suit is so freaking cool.
It is very cool.
And then the coolness of the scene kind of gets, shall we say, tripped up when Thaddius's arm falls off.
I was disappointed. I was really disappointed. I was like, really?
Oh, really? Actually, we're killing ourselves laughing because he's like, okay, I can't. So I'm just gonna try to. He was like trying to figure out how to hold the arm and the gun together so that way the arm that fell off, the finger's still in the trigger.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny. It was funny. I was just like, come on. But
I mean, they had to find. I guess I was thinking about it afterwards because I guess they had to find a way to make Thaddius not be a part of the fight because between out of the Ghoul and Maximus, how the hell is he supposed to survive?
Yes. Yeah.
So, and someone goes, "Well, his arm falls off." It's like, I thought it was really funny.
Oh, it was funny. I will admit. Someone, I can't where I came across it. Someone had made a comment along the lines of like, "Oh, it's the Wizard of Oz with the characters like Cowardly Lion, the Tin Man, and the Scarecrow," which I was like, yeah. Though I think when people are probably thinking, "Oh, Maximus is the Tin Man," like, no. If we're going Wizard of Oz here, Maximus is the Scarecrow because he has no brain. Cowardly Lion is obviously Thaddius, duh, and Tin Man would be the Ghoul because he has no heart, and he's gonna find his heart. See, Disney, that's how you go and do something with referencing and kind of build something off of another piece of media instead of naming all your characters Wendy,
Making
Nibs.
it so obvious. That's the thing, is if there is subtext from other things, people will discover it.
Yes.
And they will propagate that information. You don't need to do it for us.
Yeah.
We can do it. If you do it for us, we think you're dumb. If we do it for us, we think we're smart.
Yep.
What do you think is better for you, Disney? You want your viewers to feel like they're smart. Genius, right? And before they get to the fight, we jump back to now Chet and Steph's wedding. It's the happy day. The day that he has dreamed of since never. So the minister guy is the one with the mustache. Speaking of people with no brain, the really funny, nice guy, right?
Yes.
And Steph, Vault Dweller Steph, do you take Chet to be your lawfully wedded husband? I do. And Vault Dweller Chet, do you take Steph to be your lawfully wedded wife? And Steph's like, what are you doing? And he whispers, I do not. And then the minister goes, and now I pronounce you, I do not. It was great. It was a good little moment. I loved it. And then he spills the beans. He says, Steph's been doing this and she's been doing that. And I think she killed Woody. That is a very serious accusation. And then I can't remember what he said.
He's like, oh, because he mentioned the glasses and the carburetor. He's like, where are the glasses? And like, I put them back. And then he's like, oh, well, we all get cold feet, as if Chet's making this up to get out of
To
marrying
get out of
Steph.
the wedding.
It's so like that. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. And then
That was really, really funny.
he's like, yeah, but and he starts kind of going off and this.
She's Canadian.
She's not even American. She's Canadian, and just how everyone.
That really got them into it.
That was so funny.
I was so happy he had his moment in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Steph runs off like the princess that she is, the false princess that she is. I will say, locks herself into her overseer office and doesn't cry, but she's fuming and she's. "Ugh." And then that's it. That's all we see from her, I think, for the rest of the episode.
Yeah, yeah.
But good on you, Chet.
You
Good
finally,
on you.
you finally grew some.
You know, maybe they could, if they ever do like a TV show Fallout shirt chain,
Mm-hmm.
they should have a picture of Chet with the words "I don't." That'd be a great shirt.
That would be a great shirt.
There's just no context whatsoever. Why does it say "I don't"? I don't. I don't know. Then we get to the fight with the Deathclaws.
Which was I think was actually a pretty decent fight.
I thought it was great. I expected it to be kind of dog poopy because there was the other fight that they had with the robots.
Yeah. That
Remember
one.
which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When Maximus was absolute dog crap. That was embarrassingly bad. That was good. I mean, the Deathclaws, they use a bit more CGI, obviously, but
Yeah.
they still kept most of it. It looked to me anyway like they kept the I don't know what you would call it, the actual base.
Mm-hmm.
So because you could get the shots of the where you could see the textures and the bumps on its skin, and that didn't look CGI to me.
No.
It looked practical. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was great. It was great fun. He's just kicking ass, taking names, slashing, and he had these sick little Maximus did on the NCR armor, sick little blades on the under part of his forearm.
Yeah, that was sick.
It just he goes up to one of the cars and gets the attention of one of the Deathclaws, and he just scrapes it across. I don't know. It just looks so cool.
I like that. Yeah, the scraping the blade across the car.
That was
dope.
That was my testosterone rose 502% at that moment.
It was one of those moments of it's like, yes, Maximus, you became more of a man when you picked up a sword. Shing.
So the fight obviously was awesome. So the Ghoul manages to get into the Lucky 38.
Oh, before that, I have a thought before that.
Oh, you do? Okay, well.
Yeah, during the fight, just that scene when, Maximus kind of gets one of his arm blades caught on the car inside of the car, and so the Deathclaw that was kind of sizing him up starts making a move for the Ghoul, and I just really like the look of like, oh, I'm in trouble on the look of the Ghoul's face as he pulls out his rail gun and he's shooting at it, and just the look on his face and everything. I'm just like, yes, that just exemplifies all of us when we fight a Deathclaw and we pull out our strongest gun and it's not stopping it, and we are soiling our undies.
This is true, unless you get the 50 cal anti-personnel sniper rifle, in which case, bye-bye, Deathclaws.
The FU gun,
the big time FU gun. It's the one that makes everything go.
Then of course Maximus saves him, and I thought it was I liked how, because he'd gotten the one blade caught on the car door, and when he comes and tackles that Deathclaw and takes it out, you see that the car door is still stuck on the blade, but so he's carrying the car door around it almost like it's a shield. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome.
It was sick. So then the Ghoul gets into the Lucky 38. Mm-hmm. Maximus continues kicking ass. But then he gets his ass kicked, busts right through the barricade
Into Freeside.
into Freeside, opening it up. Now, I have a question, and this
Mm-hmm.
might be a nitpick.
Mm-hmm.
However, I know how strong, I have an idea of how strong Deathclaws are, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If the Deathclaw is strong enough that it can hit Maximus in his power armor through the air and smash the barricade, why couldn't the Deathclaw have already just done that prior? I'll simplify my question. Could not the Deathclaw have broken through the barricade all by his own self?
I would say
If it's
yes.
that strong.
Yes. Yes. I would agree. I don't think that's a nitpick. I think that's one of those somebody was not paying attention when they were writing, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's kind of like in video games where there's a barricade that you should be able to destroy, but you can't because the scripted event hasn't happened yet. And then the scripted event happens, and now you can smash through that and then move to the next area. That's
Yeah.
what it felt like to me. So minor nitpick, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean the best that I could offer, it seems, is that it never occurred to the Deathclaw that it could break through the barricade. Which sounds stupid saying it out loud, but that's all I've got. Which then moves into the final montage ending of the episode, which I thought was pretty killer, to be honest with you.
When they're cutting back and forth.
Yeah, there were a few different elements.
Like you see,
Yeah, like the Ghoul entered. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I guess yeah, it was like you said, the Ghoul enters the Lucky 38, and then you've also got it cut interspersed where Cooper in the past
Yeah,
is with Barb, and they're like, all right, we gotta save our family, we gotta save the world, and he's gonna go meet with someone in a shadowy car, and it's cutting back and forth, and then it's also cutting to Lucy, who's decided to destroy the mainframe, so she handcuffs Hank to the wall or whatnot, and then she's gonna go destroy the mainframe, and it's cutting
yeah,
back and forth, and it's great.
yeah. So, when Coop gets into the car to meet with the shadowy figure
Oh,
with Diane.
one thing
Oh,
I do want to say just before it, that scene, just the lighting and everything of the evening along the
oh
sidewalk.
yeah, it
You know,
looked really good.
he lights up a cigarette. I'm just like, and you know the music that plays. I'm just like, I'm getting some noir tough guy feel here. I am digging this so much because I love myself a good old Humphrey Bogart, Sam Spade noir
Yeah.
movie.
It
I
made
loved it.
me want to smoke a cigarette, and I don't like cigarettes.
Let's get those little Popeye candies. There we go. The little
Oh,
Popeye fake cigarettes. I keep
yeah,
on,
just hit your mic
yeah, I
there.
keep on punching my mic.
Who's the president of the United States in the Fallout world, Benjamin? Who
It's
is it?
it's the Kurgan. There can be only one.
President Bergen,
Or
also known as Clancy Brown.
Clancy freaking Brown. Seriously, like,
Also known as Mr. Krabs from
oh
SpongeBob
yeah,
SquarePants.
yes.
Yes, everybody. Did you know that Mr. Krabs is Clancy Brown?
Clancy.
So fun.
Also, the training sergeant in Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers.
Yep, man,
Why
that
do we
man.
need to have knives if we got nuclear weapons? Hold out your hand, son. If you disable the hand with the knife, he can't push the nuclear weapon button. Medic!
So good.
That's one of my favorite movies. I love Starship Troopers.
Clancy Brown is awesome. Like, yeah,
Oh,
when they showed him like as the president, and Cooper's passing the cold fusion artifact to him, and just you got that look on his face of like, okay, Clancy Brown has that face. It's like, oh, I can trust him, but he also can do like that, like I can trust you, but I can't trust you face, and it he's really good at it. And he hands it over, and you can see on his face, and then you look on the cause that senator lady there too, that
Diane,
you could,
yeah.
yeah, Diane. It's like, I will say, she she's good. Like the actress who plays her is good because she plays that kind of meek kind of character,
Yeah.
that or
The
facade.
bumbling idiot is a
Yeah,
character that she
yeah.
is playing.
And now you see it in her face, like just the look on her face. You can see that is not a bumbling character in that face. That is a
Yeah.
conniving manipulator. I was like, dang,
Yep.
she really plays that part so well.
Really unassuming. And then, as all these little scenes are going back and forth, Lucy goes into the mainframe room of the Vault-Tec area, and for reasons I cannot possibly begin to explain, there's mainframe cords plugged into Diane's head,
In a
just the
jar.
head,
In a
in
jar.
a jar, nothing else. I expected Lucy to say okie dokie, but instead she said, I don't know, she said, oh boy, or something. I
Yeah.
was like, hey, that's not your line. um, but then, as that's happening too, the ghoul goes into the penthouse, puts the cold fusion thing into the thing in the secret room, and then you see that big screen powering up, and then on comes Mr. Robert House's face on the screen. Hello, old chum. And I was like,
I was half expecting it to be Yes Man from that robot from
oh,
Fallout
did
2.
you?
I had a thought of like, are they
Oh
because they
no, I
they
had
were.
no doubt in my mind
I mean,
whatsoever.
I had the thought I put it this way. I I wasn't like thrown off by it being a house. I was like, it's probably going to be a house, but I thought, with all the twists that have been going on, maybe it's Yes Man. Either way, I was like, I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes with House.
If it was not House, I would have felt ripped off in some way. I
Yeah.
needed to have that moment, because when you first play New Vegas and you step into the penthouse and it's just you start talking to House, who has the face in the screen, and you just have so many questions.
Hmm.
How did you get in there? How does this work? Do you still need to pee? Like I have so many questions. I will say, and I do not think this is a nitpick because I think this was an objectively bad choice for a song. While the ghoul is going into the back room and putting the cold fusion on, there was this stupid ass Spanish song being sung in the background, and I like Spanish music. I really like it. So I was really surprised by this. The music quality was something along the lines of it was awful. I could not. We muted it. This moment that was supposed to be intriguing, we have this stupid ass song playing. Who 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 approved this? Who made this song? And what kind of drugs were they on? Because we need to make sure no one ever takes those drugs again. Because I never want to hear that song ever again. It was awful, objectively awful.
I
In a
def
show where the music is great, at least as this cuts to the final, like the ending credit
Mhm.
video, it switches to a really fun song, which we get the one last Canadian American stab as the credits are rolling, kind of that artsy fartsy way
Mhm.
that they do the credits.
Yeah.
A bunch of Mounties hanging by the neck, skeletons across some sort of on a sign,
Mhm.
and the sign that they're being hung from says Canada is crossed out. The word Canada is crossed out as
Mhm.
the big 51. I thought that was really funny. And then it got me thinking, how terrifying would a mutated moose be?
Oh boy.
You know, because you got the Brahmin, you got the stags, a moose,
And dude, a mutated goose.
a mutated goose riding a mutated moose.
We're all dead. Hey, if any modders are out there who just so happen to come across this, make this happen. A mod for any of the Fallout games of a mutated moose and a mutated goose. Some kind of mod, a Canada mod.
And
Make it happen.
tag us in it. Tag
Yes.
us in it. Not
Yes.
so we can take credit. You have all the credit. We just want to know it exists.
Yes.
So I can load it onto New Vegas. Pretty please and thank you.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that was a good episode. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued for the final episode.
Me too. I'm like with the reveal of Senator what's her name as the head that is in control of is the part of the mainframe. I'm just kind of like what, like I did of all the connections and the different twists in this show. I'm like, this one does not track. I mean, I'm expecting them to tie it together, but I'm just like, what?
I had no idea what to do with it.
Yeah,
What's been happening here?
Yeah, like with all the information that we've been given, we just have not given enough to explain why it's her head. If it was the president's head, I would like sort of make a little more sense, I guess, just because it's what it's the president, he's the leader of the country. You'd think there'd be something that I don't know, it would make just a little more sense, maybe.
Imagine a mainframe of that kind. You step in and it's Donald Trump's head. I'm a head in a jar. No one's ever been a head in a jar as good as me. Everybody says it. Everybody knows it.
So, do you have any expectations for what the next episode's going to be, or do you think okay? What do you think it'll wrap up, and what do you think they're still going to leave for season the next season?
I think what we will wrap up on is who dropped the bombs. I do think we'll get a final answer on that. And I think the answer is very likely going to be the United States government, because that seems like the low-hanging fruit, just to be honest with you. And if it is just that, they better have a damn good reason, because if it's just America's bad or whatever, like, come on. I hope that we get more of the Kurgan. I want to see more of him. I also expect that we're going to have a bittersweet reunion between Cooper or the Ghoul and Barb and Janie. I think something's going to be wrong with Janie. I don't know what. I just have this feeling. And then we're going to have some drama. I mean, not the least of which is what the hell happened to your face, Coop? As far as what's going to happen with Lucy and Diane's head, probably she's going to have a conversation with it. Yeah, I think those are probably the big points. I don't think there's a whole lot that's going to happen for Maximus. He's just sort of the sword. He's the guy who wears the power armor.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think there's much there. They haven't done a whole lot with him anyways. It was just kind of there because they like, oh, we had him in the first season, and we've got to kind of do something with him because he's a character that people like.
Yeah, I think they did him dirty.
Yeah, they did. I mean, we'll see. Maybe the last episode will have something that just like, wow, that was great.
Yeah, I am excited though. I've enjoyed this season.
Yeah, me too.
I think overall it is a better season than season one, even though season one I think was a better constructed story.
Yeah,
as far as structure.
Yeah, there was just certain glaring elements in the first season that made it less, I guess, for lack of a term, less good than this season.
Yeah, well, the stakes are higher. They're not world-ending higher, but they are higher, and we've had a chance to get to know the characters even better. Except for Maximus again. I feel like we haven't learned anything new about Maximus.
No, other than getting a view of his parents. That's about it.
Except for that. That is true. I really wish that they would do something more with his character. I don't know. But overall, I'd give it an 8.7 out of 10. Would do again.
Yeah, I'd watch it. Oh yeah, I'd absolutely watch it again. Yeah, I think for I'm just thinking about what they're going to kind of wrap up for the next episode. Yeah, I think they will likely wrap up, who dropped the bomb, but I think they're going to still leave it open. Like I don't think they'll completely wrap it up. I think they'll just make it be like, hey, the kind of hint, give an answer to who it is, but not 100%. That's what I think. I think that House, his involvement will not be wrapped up. They're going to carry that over into the next season.
I really hope so.
I have a funny feeling that there's going to be more with him carried over into the next season. Steph's whole plan, or some of her things, I think it will be revealed, like what her plan to do with the vault will either be completely revealed or mostly revealed by the end of the next episode, and it'll have repercussions that will carry into season 3. And I think Norm's whole thing, there will be his story with the Vault-Tec people. I also think will be carried over into the third season. It won't be completely wrapped up. I think in some ways this season is going to be a bit more of a stepping stone, because the first season kind of wrapped up the majority of its stuff at the end of the season. I think this one is going to not result in, it is going to carry over most of its stuff into the second season and be kind of a third season and be more of a narrative stepping stone.
They got a lot of things going on.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope that they continue to bring those together in a satisfying way. In a mostly satisfying way.
Yeah, because if most of the stuff got wrapped up at the end of it would just feel like it would feel rushed, because there's still a lot.
Yeah, I think there's enough, pardon the expression, fallout from season 2 that season 3 could be addressing all of those rather than opening up new directions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, like season 1 did its thing. Season 2 opened up so many more questions, and I hope that they avoid the trap of, you know, J.J. Abrams just, oh, those are fun ideas, but we don't care about those so much anymore.
Yeah.
I'm confident that it'll at least be fun.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be perfect, but it will be fun.
I also do, like, I know this is kind of getting into prediction territory, but I think they're going to end it off with, because, like, you know, the first season ended off letting us know that, like, hey, you know, we're going to Vegas. I think that, you know, now with the involvement a bit more of the Enclave and everything, so either they're going to go with kind of the Enclave being mostly in the West Coast, you know, California, you know, that whole area off the coast or whatnot, or they're going to get everyone heading out towards the capital wasteland, Fallout 3, and kind of do a bunch of elements from the third game.
It would make sense that they go to Washington if they're bringing in the American government and the president like they've been. It's gonna be fun. Do you think Chet's gonna die?
I don't know. I don't know. I've been weighing it just now in my head, and like, it's a 50-50.
Because I'm trying to think, what would it serve the story if he dies?
Not much.
Also, I'm thinking, how would it serve the story if Steph dies? Because it wouldn't necessarily.
I don't think she's gonna die. I think, put it this way, I think it'll end with her finding some way out of the vault and abandoning people there. Whether or not she leaves some kind of nefarious self-destruct or something is, you know, who knows. Or it ends with her still locking herself inside that office and her triggering something on the computer that's going to affect the vaults.
I think that's probably what's going to happen. I'm actually really curious. You got me thinking about the forced evolution thing. That'll be really interesting.
Or it ends with her maybe not necessarily triggering something, but has her contacting someone else and waiting for a reply, and like desperately sending out a message and repeating it over and over and over again as the episode ends. But who knows?
It's gonna be interesting. I'm excited. It's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm. Either way, I am looking forward to what we get next. All right, that is all from us, people. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and we will catch you next time.
On the flip side. I don't know why I keep saying that.
Thanks for tuning in. You can find more from Sir Nick by searching Great Tradition on YouTube. You can also find me there by searching Classy Chappy. If we name dropped anyone during the show, be sure to check them out and leave them a comment saying that Classy Chappy sent you. The intro music was by Kevin MacLeod, Incomtech.com, used under Creative Commons 4.0. Thanks again, and we'll catch you next time.